regional. I'll give it to G2 still, but I say NRG still the best team. They're gonna get back up there soon. But but let Rotterdam happen.
What is going on, guys? It is a beautiful day as NRG has made it to the playoffs. You know, a lot of people doubted us, you know? No, you know, again, not an NRG fan. I'm not buying any merch or anything like that. I'm just a believer, okay? And today we kind of saw why. NRG looked refreshed, restored, renewed. I suppose the move on from Sizz, while it's not a Sizz thing, I don't think that the absence of Sizz made them better necessarily. But for a team that runs at such a high amplitude based off of their emotion, their mentality, a change like that seemed to shake things up, launch some things free, and we saw a rejuvenated and a speedy NRG today. We are watching their one of their games that they had against Gen.G, a playoff team who they swept in this matchup. I believe this is game 2, and yeah, looked pretty great against Gen.G. They just could not score against NRG, which is a welcome sight, especially with saves like that. As Justin is cool, calm, and collected. That's who we are rocking with the classic carbonated whip here, but. NRG, I wouldn't say I feel awesome about their performance. You know, they're going up against Optic in the playoffs in their first round in the quarterfinals. I feel fairly strong about their chances of making it based on today's performance and based on Optic's performance, but there's still some key things that concern me with NRG, and we'll see some of the stuff they did really well, in my opinion, in this game. We'll also see some of the stuff that they did poorly. That little bump that Justin had there is a sign of something that he's trying to do more and more, which is be more of a disruptor. As you guys might know, statistically and via the eye test, that was something that they relied on Garrett for mostly last season. And this time around, Justin is still playing his standard defensive role. And here's some of the mistakes that we're seeing there, some of the miscommunications, bumping Garrett on the back wall twice. But Justin seems to be speedy as ever. There's another beat that we have there to the ceiling. And it seems like everybody on the team is doing what they do best. Squishy is a pretty tremendous facilitator. We saw that over the course of close qualifiers. We talked about it in our previous NRG video, and in this event here as well. Garrett is doing a lot more scoring, you know, shot placement, things like that he does really strongly. And Justin, while still holding down the back line, is doing a little more just, you know, dynamic and creative playmaking to put the ball in the back of the net. They still concern me sometimes on defense like that, as Justin tries to go for something creative there. But let's talk about the matchups. Started out against Furia. It was on the main broadcast, so you may have watched it to start out the day. They did lose that in 5. Seems like Furia really has their number historically, but mighty close. I'd say the biggest X factor there was Yan, who looked like a world beater, as Furia went 3-0 in Swiss to get seeded into playoffs quickly today. But then after that, NRG caught some lucky breaks. A Rogue squad who they've kind of gone back and forth with historically, but today looked god-awful. They were 0-3. And as I jumble over my words, let's see that Justin fake reset one more time. But Rogue looked really bad. Aqua was a stud, but Gyro and Taroko had 2 of the worst shooting days of anybody in the entire event, and the 0-3 kind of showed that. So NRG gets lucky. They're able to bounce back in round 2 against Rogue. And then in round 3, they get Gen.G, who, you know, grand finalist in the first regional, and had some struggles today. Like we were talking about, as Justin goes for something nutty there. Like we were talking about, they got 0-3'd in this series against NRG, and unfortunately they just could not score Gen.G. Now part of that of course is NRG's laid back style and blocking everything except for this double by Chronic, but another part of it was Gen.G just kind of struggling. Appjack had a really rough go today, kind of warmed up as the event went on. Nolly's never really much of a scorer, but Chronic was really somebody they relied on and ended up getting them into the playoffs with a big win over G2. But in this matchup here, NRG really dictated the pace. They were very comfortable sitting back and defending. Justin was very comfortable trying to do some disruption and midfield interruption like we just saw from him there. Very cognizant of what's going on, very aware. You see the constant camera moving. But just looked pretty fantastic, Justin did today. He seems to be one of the more inconsistent players for NRG over the course of the season, which isn't something that you necessarily want to see from your star player. But again, is star even fair for NRG? Of course, Justin is incredible as he gets a nice save in transition here. 0 boost. This is actually an Appjack miss, but Justin's going to put it away. But Justin looked on form today. They were really taking turns in a nice way. Justin and Garrett had it turned on in this series against Gen.G. Squishy was playing some, just kind of helping them out. But in the next series against Dignitas, when they actually ended up winning and going 3-1 on the day in Swiss, Squishy really dominated against Dignitas. So all around today, a pretty phenomenal performance from NRG. Made the playoffs like we had hoped that they would. Now it's time to see how much further they can get. In the bracket, they have Optic in their first round matchup. If they're able to shut down AJ, that might be a pretty straightforward series. I think that Optic still has a lot that they're trying to work out themselves. And then after that, it's going to be the winner of Furia versus V1. V1 also looked pretty flat today, so I would assume that will be a Furia win. But again, that's why we watch the games, right? To kind of see who's going to end up taking it. So if they can get past Optic, I would presume they're going to get another rematch against Furia. We'll see if they can do it. But a pretty solid first showing for NRG, the rejuvenated and restored NRG, the epic Johnny era. So we'll see if they can keep pushing along. And yeah, we'll see how far they can get. But guys, hope you had a great day. Enjoyed all of the matches that we saw. I appreciate your time. And until next time, take it easy.